What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to an episode of Dodgers Dugout Live After Dark. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us to talk about Game 3. Will the Dodgers make a lineup change? Clayton Kershaw says he's going to be back in Dodger Blue next season. We got a lot to talk about, guys. I know that you're just counting down the minutes, the hours, because Game 3 is going to be massive. It's a 1-1 series. You're on the road. You got Walker Buehler on the mound. So we're going to talk about that. But first, an announcement. We dropped a brand new t-shirt today. You see it right here, right in the corner. It is the mantra. It is the saying that the Dodgers are going with this postseason. It's the WDGAF shirt, the We Don't Give a F, that Kike Hernandez said to Ken Rosenthal after Game 5 of the NLDS when the Dodgers clinched. So let's take a look at this shirt. Look at this fire t-shirt. You got Kike with the boom. A home run to give the Dodgers the early lead. You got the Kike goggles, and also check out the logo that I made. It's the MLB logo, but it's the belt bump. You got the belt bump logo. Go get this t-shirt. We just dropped it. They're already selling very, very quickly. This drop is definitely on fire right now. So definitely go to Gearup.la to go check these out. Get a t-shirt, man. Every single color you could imagine. You got the black, you got the charcoal, you got the navy, you got the light blue. Go to Gearup.la. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support the show, this is the move. This is what the players are saying in the Dodgers clubhouse. In 1988, it was this effing team. This year is we don't give a you-know-what. So fire t-shirt, it, I think, really represents what this Dodgers team is about right now. And definitely go cop that moment.
Are we live? We're live. The fact that we don't give a... All right, thank you, Kike. Yep. Congratulations. Thank you again.
So that is the mindset. That is the motivation. Go to Gearup.la to cop one of these. Wow, supplies last. We dropped it on Instagram earlier and on the X, and within minutes, people were buying them. I'm telling you, the cool thing about this one, too, is the WDGAF. You don't want to have the full saying there, right? You don't want to be walking around town with dropping F-bombs, but it's kind of one of those, if you know, you know. Real, true blue Dodgers fans will recognize it immediately. So definitely head over to doing that. Yeah, we're definitely going to do a little giveaway of these pretty soon as well. So definitely go cop that. Kenny Chung, that shirt is fire. Levels better than that Roto Wear and Breaking Tea has to offer. Thank you so much, Kenny Chung. This is actually your boy's design right here. Kike, do you love me? That's from United States of America. F, yeah, I do, from Creed Burns. Wins over T-shirts. That's from Ken Duncan 9. Okay. We got giveaway T. We got we can't drop another game from Matt. Professor D-Mac with the heat. What's up, Avery? What up? Okay. Ray Soto calling it the Pecker Wrecker. You're going to get a bruh for that. What do we call this thing? Is it the, you know what I'm calling it? I'm calling it the low, it's not a high 5, it's the low 4. Dodger Dog says the T is fire. What's up, Dodger Dog, man? Appreciate you rock with us. Always bring those fire takes over there. We got, that dropping down below. 499 Super Chat. I don't think Ohtani will struggle against tomorrow pitching. My question is the New York Mets crowd as rowdy as San Diego? That's a good question. I mean, New York definitely, I mean, that San Diego crowd was on fire. There was no doubt about how on fire that San Diego crowd was at the time, and they were really, really feeling it. But the truth of the matter is the Mets, they're a city that at least the Mets have a championship. The New York media, the New York market's always a big deal, but I personally believe that it's going to be raucous, man. It's the Dodgers and the Mets, the NLCS, right? Nando390 says, got the WDJEF tattooed on my forehead. So Nando got the WDGAF tattooed on his forehead. Okay, that's kind of one of those pics or it didn't happen thing. Pics or it didn't happen. Let me get some pics right here. $32 selling, $4 cost to make. Marmar. I would say it's more than that for sure. But it's a high quality t-shirt. Premium cotton. You're going to love it. It's a great blend right there. Daniel Macy says WDGAF. Yeah, comment WDGAF down below. And how about this? I'll give one away. We're going to do one t-shirt giveaway for this episode for one person that does the comment of the show. We'll do some contenders, but have WDGAF down below. I got you on this one. We got the United States of America calling it a nut bump. Hey, this is what happens when you got Dodgers Dugout Live After Dark. By the way, got my whole system checked out. We're going super high speed. Let me know if everything's crisp down below. Let me know down below. Yo, D-Mac, I'll throw a torta at my boss if you read this. Matt, well, I guess I apologize to your boss. You're getting a torta thrown at you. Shohei Ohtani. We got... the infamous El Guapo. Can't read that one. Rosemary Rodriguez. I think Mets are more rowdy. It's New York. LOL. That's going to be a juice crowd. It's going to be an energized crowd. I mean, they're a crowd. They have their own celebrities, right? You could see Chris Rock. You could see Jerry Seinfeld. You could see some Mets fans in the mix. Our friend Draftneck Mark will be in the mix. I mean, Wardy will be in the mix. So we got that. We got Rosemary Rodriguez. Dodgers will quiet that crowd. I like that. That's the mentality right there. You want to quiet that crowd for sure. You want to make sure that you're getting early offense. We got United States of America says, I'm a faithful Christian. So if you watch this show, we are devout Christians. And our guy, Mr. Clayton Kershaw, said today, and we'll talk about this in a second, he's going to be back for his 18th season in Dodger Blue. And he will tie Zach Wheat for the most seasons with the Dodgers and Bill Russell. So Bill Russell and Zach Wheat, only two Dodgers that have played 18 seasons with the club, and Kersh is set to match that. He already has the record for most seasons for a starting pitcher. We got B-ball memories. Mets aren't pitching to Ohtani. He drew 2 walks on 4-5 pitches. They'll take their chances with Betts, who's 1 for 8 in this series. We'll talk about that and have some thoughts on Shohei Ohtani. I talked to someone within the Dodgers about kind of what's going on with him at the plate and kind of what he's seeing from Shohei Ohtani. And I expect Shohei Ohtani to definitely get out of that slump that he's in. And we'll talk about some things he said at his press conference today. Joe Rodriguez says WDGAF. Eric Flores, WDJF. Kelly Oshiro in the chat. We got giveaway. Got Matt, WDGAF. Hey, like I said, the 1988, those Dodgers team. By the way, this is the anniversary of Kirk Gibson's home run in the World Series. She is gone. I mean, that's unbelievable, man. It's kind of one of the things, if you kind of go back in the time machine and see that live, it'd be great. We got woohoo, me. We got, I want then to FA. We got WGGF. We got you guys are spamming the comments. I love to see that. Let's keep going with those takes too. What are your thoughts? Give me a little vibe check heading into Game 3. On the eve of Game 3, are you guys nervous? Are you confident? What are those thoughts? I think upon further review, I think you have to feel even better about the way that Game 2 was managed. We'll talk more about that in a second here. We got to get... rumor has it D-Mac is practicing the Kike celebration in the studio. That's from Benjamin Flores. No comment. Not going to say no, though. We got the door slap. Jeremy H. will be a good trip to New York if the Dodgers can take 2 out of 3. Add Grimace and the Hawk Tua girl to that list. IC23. I'll take Decoy over Grimace any day. And I'll take WDGAF over OMG any day. Okay? They have OMG with Iglesias' song, and it's a banger. I'm not going to lie. I do play it on occasion, especially walking around town. I like it. I like it. So I guys like the song. Iglesias is, oh my God. It's catchy. It's a good song. But give me WDGF over OMG any day. What up, D-Mac? What up, Dodgers Nation? What up, Beer Samus? Alan, Mike Sosha knows how to quiet that crowd in New York. Yeah, Alan, that definitely is one of those home runs that is one of those home runs that are one of the most important home runs in Dodgers history as far as Dodgers lore goes. So, yeah, I mean, that home run in Game 4 of the 1988 NLCS, incredible. I mean, that's a game where we could do a full breakdown of that game. But, yeah, that was incredible in that one. But, Yeah, keep moving, guys. We got some more comments down below. How do you get the T-shirt? So go to Gearup.la, www.gearup.la. If you want to get this T-shirt, if you want to represent your boys in blue, because I'm telling you, yes, it was a great moment. Boom! Our Banana King went deep. But this is the mantra inside the Dodgers clubhouse, because I think that is the spirit, the mindset. This team has all the pressure on the world, in the world, to have success and go win a World Series. But you know what? You got to stay loose. You got to go out there and you got to have success. And I think that they kind of taken that weight off their shoulders after winning the Game 5 against the Padres. Definitely does that. We got Mookie Betts got to show up tomorrow. That's from Bandit Cozy over on YouTube. How does Citi Field compare to Dodger Stadium? That's from Matt Johns. Look, this Dodgers team has had a lot of success there for sure. We got Arcade Light Grid says Ryan Pepio, Game 5 starter. A $4.99 super chat. Butane about to drop all the F-bombs. WDGAF with Adrian Sanchez. Give you a comment of the show for that one. Triple birthday for Dodgers players. Yeah, how about that? How about that? You got a triple birthday action today for your boys in blue. A little birthday love. You got Jack Flaherty, Teoscar Hernandez, and Gavin Stone all celebrating birthdays today. How about Jack Flaherty making his case to be back with the Dodgers? I'm definitely on board with that. Alex says she's always nervous. Philip Slater, Freddie doing his best Gibby impersonation. Look, it's Freddie Gibson, right? It's Freddie Freeman. It's Kirk Gibson 2.0. The way he's performing, he's able to play. Bring out Chase Utley in Citi Field. I love that. Dave 390. Dave Roberts had no urgency in Game 2. So we'll start right there. I think for me, having slept on it a little more, after some further thought about it, I actually like Dave Roberts' approach yesterday because, yes, Landon Knack, he's a rookie. He's made 12 starts. It had been a while since he had last pitched. I think people fail to remember that Landon Knack, it's not like he was warm and he was, of course he was able to pitch on Wednesday against the Padres. It was 8-0, right? He was up big in that one. Not the same. Went one inning, gave up a hit. But he hadn't started a game since September 29th when he gave up 1 run on 5 hits against the Rockies. And at that point, everyone's saying Landon Knack deserves postseason starts. Landon Knack should pitch in the postseason based on how the rotation was lining up. And then, yes, he did have a long layoff. It did take some time, and he didn't have it. And the thing about Landon Knack you have to understand is this. He's not an overpowering pitcher. He pitches with a lot of finesse. He needs to locate his fastball, and he needs to do it on the edges, on the black, on the corners. And if he's not doing that, if he's not throwing it for strikes on the edges, well, opposing teams that are in the NLCS, their offenses are usually either very hot or they're very good. And the Mets, they have talented players, they have MVP candidates, and they're hot at the right time. So since he wasn't throwing strikes, they were not going to offer at his pitches. They were outside the zone, right? And the border of the zone either. So the fact that he wasn't commanding his fastball, they were just going to sit on his mistakes that went into the zone when he was leaving out over the plate, and they certainly did just that. And look, the thing is people are acting like, oh, Walker Buehler figured things out. Walker Buehler was so gritty in his start against the Padres. Walker Buehler is postseason Walker Buehler that we saw in 2018, 2019, right? The truth of the matter is Walker Buehler, even though he did show some really quality flashes, even though he has looked as good as he's looked in a long time, the truth is his last start went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. Also the home run to Fernando Tatis Jr. Also the double to David Peralta. And yes, Miguel Rojas' defense definitely hurt him majorly in that one. And also the savvy play from Manny Machado. Check that, Manny Machado, right? He was aided by that in that inning. But the truth of the matter is there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that Walker Buehler is going to go out there and give you 4, 5, or 6 innings. Right? So considering that, tomorrow you might need to go Walker Buehler where he goes 4 or 5, gives up 3 runs, your offense has to show up, and then boom, you're going right into the high leverage guys, right into the Evan Phillipses, the Michael Kopechs, the Daniel Hudson, who's available again. The top end of your bullpen, you might need it. And remember, there's no Alex Vesia right now, right? So the truth of the matter is you wanted to win game 2. You didn't know what you had in Landon Knack. Now you know that if it's a situation where you're going with the bullpen game, which you might need to, which all signs are pointing to, that's going to be what's going to be the case unless you can take the next 3, right? You're going to have a bullpen game in game 6. And in that game 6, you are going to have hopefully all hands on deck potentially because there's a day off on that Friday before this, or there's a game, there's a day off on Saturday before Sunday, right? But still, now you know that if it's a situation where you need multiple innings from someone, you're going to go with Brent Honeywell and not Landon Knack, right? So you had to figure some things out. You have information on your own team that could dictate the future moves that you make in this series. And also, you're on the road in New York in a hostile environment, and you need someone that has proven to be able to execute in those situations. And Walker Buehler, for better or worse, he's not going to be afraid of that moment. It's not a guarantee that he's going to have success, but he's not going to be afraid. He's going to embrace it, and hopefully he can have success. But in the event that he doesn't, you have the high leverage arms available, and the Mets have not seen those guys. It would have been the worst case scenario is if you had used those high leverage arms in game 2 and you still lose because of the way that Sean Manaea was pitching, because the Dodgers 1 through 5 went a combined 0 for 19, because the MV3 went 0 for 12, right? That would have been a nightmare scenario because then you'd be heading into New York with a Walker Buehler that's still, I don't know about you guys, I have trust issues still with Walker Buehler at this point. I need a loaded bullpen on the road in game 3. Then you can win that game, take control of the series. Then it sets you up nicely with Yamamoto on the rest that he's accustomed to. He's not going to pitch on anything less than 5 days rest. And then you get Jack Flaherty. So the way it lines up now is perfectly to take 2 to 3 games in New York. Whereas if you had gone for broke and managed game 2 like was game 7 of the World Series, then I think you could potentially be screwed in this series. And there's a world where you're clawing to just win 1 game to get back to LA. Now they have an opportunity to take multiple games in New York, and it lines you up nicely with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, with Jack Flaherty going after Walker Buehler in games 4 and 5. And I think that we sneak out of, I did it again. I said we. I try not to be we. I don't play for the Dodgers. I know some of you guys insist that I'm the catcher of the Dodgers and that I'm Will Smith. And unfortunately, I'm not claiming that right now because of his struggles of late. But no, I don't play for the Dodgers. Blood thingy on the team, right? No. To continue on, I do think this bodes well for the Dodgers. And this is all under the assumption that what? This is all under the assumption that the bats can score and step up and then come through in big spots. You look at Luis Severino. He's someone who relies on his heater. He relies on his fastball, and I think that with the way the Dodgers have been chasing breaking balls out of the zone, the way that we saw Yu Darvish in Game 2 and in Game 5 of the NLDS have success with spin, lots of early soft contact outs. Look, this is a team that can catch up the fastballs. And Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 6 lifetime against Severino. Mookie Betts has had success against Severino. I like the Dodgers offense after a cold Game 2, coming out and swinging the bats well in Game 3. But let me know down below in the comment section. That will start right there. Now that a day has passed, what's up, Diane Schroeder? How you been? How's it going, Diane Schroeder, the fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation live streams? How you been, Diane Schroeder? Always rocking with us. Alex Renteria, but how do you feel better about yesterday's decision now based on what you see in front of you? D-Mac, are you practicing the Kike celebration with Tony Taylor's Alex Renteria? No comment. Make a statement tomorrow, Jay Cool, over on YouTube with the fire takes. Will Smith has to show up. Team Moist. We'll talk about Will Smith in a little bit and some comments that Dave Roberts made. Hussein Kumar, Showtime will hit the Mets. Yeah, I like that. I like that that tomorrow. We're talking about Shohei too in a second. I want to read some more of your comments, but yeah, I like Shohei Ohtani. Just one thing, just watching Shohei Ohtani at the press conference, and lifetime Shohei is 3 for 6 with a home run and a double, hitting 500 with a 1167 slug. I like Showtime going big show and big fly in Flushing, Queens tomorrow. Call my shot right now, baby. This Shohei going deep. But Shohei was asked about, some of his struggles, and, he had reporters making him feel like he's like some just non-existent hitter. And yes, the numbers haven't been great, but let's not act like he didn't have 2 hits in game 1, including RBI that could have been a double. He had a couple walks in game 2, so he hasn't been great this postseason. We'll dive deeper in the numbers here in a second, but I was a little surprised by just how he was being addressed, as if he was some scrubber. He was going through this season-long slump or anything like that. He was asked today about how he felt about his swing at the plate right now, if there's anything that he felt that he needed to work on. And Shohei said, I do feel okay at the plate. I do feel like I should recall back to the times when I feel good and perhaps incorporate that into it. So, yeah, basically he feels like he's got to be that guy that he was when he put up an MVP season that's going to run away with the MVP. Just the feeling at the plate, and a lot of it's how he's being pitched, right? You're not seeing a lot of pitches on the inner half of the plate. A lot of the pitches on the outside quadrants of the plate, you're seeing breaking stuff that's hitting the corners. You got to give credit to Yu Darvish and Tanner Scott, and you kind of look at his numbers, and we'll talk about Shohei here, is that, yeah, I mean, a lot of those struggles, it does make you scratch your head. I mean, Shohei Ohtani had 2 hits in the first game. He had 2 walks in game 2. And the first 7 postseason games of his career, he's 6 for 27. And he has no extra base hits since the home run off of Dylan Cease in game 1. And that was in his second at bat. So we have not seen slug from Shohei in quite some time. He has not had 1 hit. He's absolutely hitless in 19 ABs with 10 punch outs and 2 walks when he's been at the plate with nobody on base. So that's a situation where, one, they're pitching around him, right? Mookie has to make him pay. Mookie has to make the opposing pitcher pay. And you need the bottom of the lineup to do a better job of getting on base. And in the wins, they've done that. Game 1 of the NLDS, Game 4, Game 5, right? In the wins, they have. Even game 1 of the NLCS, right? Tommy Edman, Kike Hernandez, Gavin Lux getting on base. So that's on them, right? I mean, for him to see pitching in the zone, he needs ducks on the pond, and hopefully we'll see a little better job from the bottom of the lineup. And I think you missed Gavin Lux in game 2. And Andy Pajes was able to get a hit off Edwin Diaz late in the game, but a lot of that's predicated on that. So if he's going to struggle with no one on, Mookie's got to make him pay, right? And that's just going to be the case. And you look at a lot of that chunk of sample size right there. Well, Yu Darvish, he went 0 for 6 against Yu Darvish, had 3 strikeouts against Yu Darvish. Against Tanner Scott, he was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So that's another one. And you look at the expected numbers, I mean, they're not great. It's not like you're seeing a ton of hard contact. Typically, in the regular season, when Shohei is struggling, you can look at all the expected numbers on Baseball Savant, and it looks like a murder scene because there's so much red there, right? That isn't the case right now. The expected batting average with no one on is at 137, and the expected slug at 400. So the XBAs aren't in his favor there, so he's not getting hard contact. But you look at the regular season, what I say was one of my biggest keys for this postseason run. One of the biggest keys I had was give me the regular season offense in the postseason or something close to it. Shohei Ohtani in the regular season, it was identical. He had a 1,036 OPS with runners on base, and then with no one on base, he had a 1,036 OPS. So it's not like this has been a problem throughout the entire season, right? This is really exclusive to the postseason. I think it's a combination of how he's being pitched to, a lot of pitches on the outside. It's the postseason, right? They don't want to have Ohtani beat them. That's clearly been the message to the pitching staffs of the opposing teams. So when he does get those mistakes, he has to find a way to make them pay. I was talking to someone with the team today about Shohei, some of his struggles, and kind of what he thought about his at-bats. And what he told me was that the pitch selection has been not to his standard as far as the pitches that he's offering at. We have seen him lay off of breaking balls on the outside of the zone. We have seen him swing and miss at fastballs up out of the zone. So there has to be an element of patience. I think Shohei needs to take a deep breath, be patient, let the game come to him a little bit. And also, someone told me that the mechanics in his posture is slightly a little off from what we saw in the regular season, and that the hands are coming forward a little too much, and that he's starting to get jammed a little bit. So a little bit out of sync with his swing, and the hands are coming forward a little too much. He's getting jammed a little bit. And I was reminded of his spring training, right? During spring training, how he looked. That is how his swing looked during spring training, right? A little out of sync. You saw the hands coming forward a little too much. You saw the mechanics and the posture a little different, a little less firm, and he was a little less grounded, right? The lower body less grounded. Well, I think that Darvish kind of had an impact on him, right? Darvish kind of messed things up a little bit for him at the plate as far as his rhythm. So, look, it's Shohei Ohtani. Every single time he's gotten into one of these slumps this season, he clearly got out of them because he put together the first 50-50 season in Major League Baseball history, right? So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that Shohei Ohtani is still less than 30 at-bats into his postseason career. Let's not forget that the guy who hit .310, had a .390 on base, slugged .646, had a .181 weighted runs created plus, and hit 54 home runs and stole 59 bases, had a 9.1 F-WAR. That's still the guy there, right? But in the postseason, that .310 has dropped to .222. The on-base at .390 has gone to .344. The slug has gone from .646 to .333, and he has been objectively, statistically, average at the plate. He has exactly a 100 weighted runs created plus in 7 postseason games, 32 plate appearances. So you're seeing the drop-off go from 181 to 100. So, yeah, you guys know, I mean, you guys tell me I love Shohei Ohtani more than my wife, right? And the truth is, I love Shohei Ohtani a lot, right? I mean, this guy is, who doesn't love Shohei Ohtani? I mean, this guy, best thing happened to baseball since the Red Sox traded the Babe to the Yankees, right? I mean, this guy is phenomenal, right? He's great for the game. He's a superstar. He's exactly what this game needs. I don't know if you guys saw the ratings for Fox in Game 1, how the ratings were up big time. Yeah, sure. Shohei Ohtani definitely didn't have himself a great game, right? Didn't have himself a great game, but he definitely moves the needle when it comes to ratings. In fact, Game 1 on Fox, it was the most watched game in the league championship series since 2009. Since 2009. It's unbelievable. I mean, 8.5 million viewers tuned in. 8.5 million viewers tuned in. I mean, it just, the ratings bonanza with Shohei Ohtani is only going to increase. He's exactly what baseball needed. So the truth is, he needs to step it up. They need more from Shohei Ohtani, especially to overcome some of the pitching depth issues that they have from their start and some of the questions with that. So more comments, guys. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live After Dark. Getting frisky here. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better, Diane Truder. Feeling a lot better after an NLDS win. I'm feeling a lot better to be back in the NLCS, but also, walking around doing my thing. I'm feeling a lot better. I appreciate that. Carl, D-Mac's cautious concern with Buehler is spot on. Yeah, that's the thing. It's tough to kind of get the fiery Buehler out of there. When I love that version of Walker Buehler. And I remember asking Buehler questions about just being back and this and that. And what he said, he just wants to be back in the fold in any way, shape, or form, right? That's what he is. And he's happy to be getting the ball. He said he lives for this. I like what Kirsten Watson told me when I had her on the show last week. And Kirsten Watson said, there's a couple guys on this team that make you want to run through a brick wall, but none of them more than Walker Buehler. He definitely has that fire and that passion. He's an absolute dog, and that's what I love about him, and his team's behind him for sure. We got the Shohei overdue to go yard. Yeah, more from Shohei too, kind of things that he told the media. And look, he experienced, he talked about he was asked about the Padres, the Mets, and how they've shifted against him with the third baseman over in the shortstop spot. and they've seen him shoot ground balls to left field this year. They was asked if he was going to shoot balls to left field more, and he said, just really situational. If it makes sense for me to go the other way with the game circumstance, if that's what the team needs, then that's something I would consider. I think basically he's out there just trying to do damage, and that's what Shohei Ohtani is. I said it early in the year. He's not a Juan Soto type, right? This is someone who's up there to do damage, to get extra base hits, to leave the yard. I mean, situationally, sure, you could poke one into left field, and he definitely is at his best when he's hitting the ball to all fields, but I don't think that is an approach. That's more of a approach for Freddie Freeman, right? Freddie Freeman is someone who wants to hit into the gaps. He wants to hit it to left center field. He wants to hit it to center field. And then if he pulls the ball, then great, but that's his approach. Shohei's approach, let's go up there and let's smoke baseballs, right? I don't care if these baseballs have families. Boom! That's what Shohei's thinking when he's up there at the plate. And the truth of the matter is that he's in a little slump right now, but I mean, I think that he's in an advantageous spot going against a Luis Severino tomorrow on the road. We've seen Shohei have some great games on the road. The 6-for-6 was in Miami, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think for sure that's absolutely it. He had some really interesting questions. He was asked today about the men on base, the base is empty thing, and if his approach has changed a little bit, if he's getting pitched to any differently in those situations, and if there's a situation where he should be moved down. I mean, he was asked today if he should be moved down in the lineup and if that would help his problem at all with the numbers. And Shohei said, regardless of however they are pitching to me, my plan is to stay the same approach as much as possible and not really be too focused on how they attack me. In terms of the lineup, that is not my job to consider. I'm going to be as flexible as possible regardless of any situation or anywhere in the lineup that I am placed in. So, look, the point I'm trying to make in all this is Dave Roberts shut that down in a big way when it came to making any type of lineup change. And when it comes to where he's at, I mean, it's just not going to happen. I mean, he was asked about the at-bats, Dave Roberts said, and he said that you have to appreciate the guys that he's faced and understand that probably some of the reason why or whatever his production or average or whatever anyone wants to look at, he's faced some tough pitchers and they're pitching them very tough. For me, looking at tomorrow, I feel really good about tomorrow. Probably not going to see Manaea until Game 6. If there is a Game 6, yeah, I feel good, but I do feel that he's got to continue to manage his hitting zone regardless of who's pitching, and I do think that he can hit anyone, as we all know, but he's still got to be kind of stubborn of his zone. And I do feel that tomorrow he's got to get back to the big part of the field. If he can do that, it should bode well for all of us. So there you go. It tells you right there kind of what the approach is and what it should be is staying in the zone, going to the big part of the field. You're going to see him. Now, I think the bigger kind of question is Will Smith and the kind of the struggles with Smitty. But I want to read some comments here. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live. We got Mr. Shotober Tortani from El Machingon. We got maybe he was still hungover from Julia. Must win, yes. Cole Kurtz is tomorrow must win. I mean, you fall down 2-1. Still got Yamamoto and Flaherty going, but is tomorrow a must win? To me, there's only one must win, and that is when you're facing elimination. Okay, I mean, you don't want to put yourself in a 3-1 hole, but it's baseball, right? 2004 Red Sox exist. The 2020 Dodgers exist. I mean, I think for this team, it's winning will, you definitely want to win to increase your chances. And yeah, you do run the risk of losing the series if you put yourself in a hole if you lose. But still, I just like this team's ability to hit on the road against Luis Severino. Let's not forget, Sean Manaea with that mechanical adjustment, going to that arm slot, that 3/4. I mean, he totally has rebuilt his career. He looked really, really good, man. I mean, he was making Dodgers hitters all uncomfortable all afternoon, and you got to give him credit. And there's a world where if the Dodgers take care of business and they win 3 straight, they don't have to face Sean Manaea again. Even if they do, and we saw Yu Darvish have success, but you were still able to get the home runs you needed off of him. So, yeah, I still like where this team's at. Shohei needs to be himself at the plate from Diane Schroeder. Need the top 4 to produce consistently. It ain't spring training right now, though, DM24. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And look, there's nothing wrong with holding Shohei Ohtani accountable. I thought one question that he got that I thought was pretty interesting was he was asked about other great players in the history of Major League Baseball, other great players that have had some rough moments in the postseason, have had some cold stretches despite being some of the best players in the game, the Barry Bondses, the Alex Rodriguez's, the Aaron Judges of the world. And Shohei said, I'm not quite sure if I'm at the same, hard for me to say if I'm at the same standard as the players you mentioned. Again, this is my first experience in the postseason, so I can't really rely on the experiences or my reflection in the past. But what I do know is that we've been playing against good teams, better teams with their best pitchers. So being able to get base hits, put up results isn't as easy maybe as it could be. And so with that being said, my focus really is on just whatever happened in the previous game. That's it. And I'm really focused on the next game and something that perhaps would reflect back once everything is over. So, yeah, I mean, he basically said, look, I mean, all those guys in the regular season, they were facing the Rockies too, right? They were facing the Miami Marlins too, right? Shohei Ohtani, you're facing better pitching. And not only that, you're having more information, more at-bat preparation as far as how you're attacking him. And look, I think that teams are willing to just die by another player, right? I mean, I think that the Ohtani thing is for them is like, we don't want to get him on base because if he gets, for me, a single, it's as good as a double. A walk is as good as a double, even though he did get thrown out in the game one. But still, I think for me, I still think that with Shohei's ability to adjust on the fly, right? It's when it clicks, it really clicks in a big way. And there's no better time to click than tomorrow against a pitcher that he's had success with. So I think it's kind of one of those things where, like, dude, he's fine. He's going to be fine. It's just a matter of time. And I do think that you could view it as a positive, right? You're 1-1 in the NLCS, and your best player hasn't played even anywhere close to how good he's capable of playing. So that's why I have all the belief in the world in that dude, man. He's Shohei Ohtani, man. We need it. Hi, D-Mac from Kiki. We got Shohei will be fine from Rengoku, 81. Alex Ranteria. Tomorrow they need to score 7+ runs with Severino on the mound. Carlosky Perez, imagine the World Series between them. Padres fans are watching. We got, they were pitching Ohtani well. That's from Gilbert V. Garcia. D-Mac, Dodgers are losing the series, you know. That's from him. What's up, Grimace, in the chat? We got really love Shohei. MLB playoffs raised up by 18% from last year from Courtney Roper. Yeah, if there's any doubt that, I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, I've been preaching this all season long. Like, Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers is the best thing that's happened to baseball in a long, long time. Okay? I mean, it's the best thing that happened in baseball for ages because you have the best player in the sport in a major market that puts themselves in a position to be perennial contenders. And we haven't seen Mike Trout. We literally went through the whole entire Mike Trout era where he got one postseason appearance, right? Major League Baseball can't afford to have that again, okay? Imagine the NBA if Michael Jordan played his whole career with the Clippers, right? Imagine Patrick Mahomes if he played his whole career with the Browns, right? It just wouldn't be fun. You need the best players on the biggest stages because that is when you bring in the casual fan. You guys are all diehards. You're true blue diehard Dodgers fans, and that's why you should definitely get this WDGAF t-shirt because that's the mantra for the Dodgers team this postseason. So I have to go pick one up at Gearup.la. You guys are the true fans, right? You guys watch the spring training games, the regular season games, the day games, the night games, the weekday games, the Sunday games, every single game you guys watch. You guys live and breathe Dodger baseball. But for this sport to thrive on the level that it did years and years ago when it was baseball and boxing as the two most lucrative sports in the world, well, they did that because the casual fan, they got their eyeballs when the postseason rolled around, and that fan turned into a hardcore fan. So that's kind of how it works. That's why it's so important to have Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers. So definitely that's the case. But yeah, let's keep moving down. We're going to talk about Will Smith in a second here. Brent Honeywell has that dog in him.
Dodger dog of the game.
Our boys are dominant on the road. That's from Adrian Salazar. For sure. We got Philip Slater until he just started pitching. Moose 1032. The Yankees walking to the World Series shows you how weak the AL is and how tough the NL is. That's from Moose 1032. Yeah, I mean, we need some dubs from the Guardians, man. I mean, Garrett Cole went like 4 1/3 innings tonight, I believe, and he got pulled pretty early, but the offense is scoring runs for sure. One of the John boys is rocking the turtleneck. We got Buehler wants to be the number one guy. He lives for high leverage situations. That's from Carmen. Richard Flores. What's up, Flores? What's up, my man? Ferris will come tough. Will come through tomorrow. Why? Because he has to. There you go. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Look, the thing about Walker Buehler, man. I mean, Walker Buehler is going to not be afraid. And I think that's kind of the first thing that you love about a pitcher in the postseason. That's why it was pivotal to have him starting Game 3. That's why it was pivotal to keep that bullpen as stocked as you can with all your high leverage relievers, because Walker Buehler has had his rocky moments this season. And for you guys to be out there thinking you're going to get the Walker Buehler that we had in his prime, that's idealistic. And I love the mindset, and I hope it happens. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, the Padres series, he had one start. He had a 10.80 ERA, right? Very gritty start. He 8 innings, and that was big for sure. I think it was a turning point of the series just to kind of eat innings from that standpoint to keep that bullpen intact for Game 4. But look, this is someone who is not going to be afraid. And you start right there, and you hope that he's commanding his pitches. You hope that he's limiting mistakes. I mean, he's struggled in the first inning this season. Let's see how he pitches in the first inning. And if he's landing that curveball, that knuckle curve, how his cutter, how his slider is, how he's pitching with that. So I think for me, that's kind of the biggest kicker. Because, look, throughout his career, I mean, Walker Buehler, 5 years, 11 series, 84 2/3 innings in the postseason, a 3.40 ERA. A 3.40 ERA. So sub 4 in the postseason, that's not easy. That's not easy to come by. But for Walker Buehler, I mean, this season, the strikeout numbers weren't there, right? He was in the 16th percentile in strikeout rate, didn't have a strikeout against the Padres in that game. Not a lot of swing and miss. The thing that he has gotten better at, though, is missing barrels and getting more ground balls, right? He's in the 69th percentile in ground ball rate. So I think for him, it's being quick and efficient, trusting his defense like Jack Flaherty did, and giving a Jack Flaherty light level performance where you're not necessarily going 7, but maybe 5. An efficient 6 would be ideal. But at this stage of his career, he's throwing the four-seam fastball 29% of the time, right? It's the cutter that's missing bats. It's the cutter that is allowing the least amount of slug. So on the year, they've slugged off his fastball. He's been able to limit the damage with his cutter and his knuckle curve and his sinker and his sweeper to a degree as well. He can even mix up a changeup and a slider, man. I mean, the thing for him is just being diverse and commanding that fastball to set up those secondary pitches and getting the soft contact. That's the number one key for Walker Buehler. It's don't think you're 2019 Walker Buehler in a count where you're just rearing back and trying to throw 98, 99, but really you're throwing 95, 96 with not a ton of spin on it up in the zone. You're leaving it out over the plate. So that's something that kind of tends to happen with Walker Buehler is he'll overthrow a little bit in a big spot, and then it'll kind of hurt his ability to have success in those moments. But BC of the Dodgers face Manaea again. They're scoring A+ runs. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel good about this team anytime they get a second look at a guy, for sure. So hopefully that's the case. They better win. Severino is no good. Teo going off tomorrow from Zenjay. Adam 818. Just need one win over there. I want to get greedy, man. One win? No way. I need 2 wins. I need possibly 3, okay? Yes, it's a must-win, D-Mac. They have Severino on the mound. They should beat them. That's from Alex Renteria. Ray Soto, this is coming back to L.A. Someone up 3-2. Adrian Salazar, Mets and Padres ain't going to be blank next season. Foop, 3 straight in NYC. We definitely need to win 2. Joe, D-Mac, call your shot. How many games does L.A. take this road trip? So I had the Dodgers in 5. It's unrealistic to probably say 5 at this point. But, I mean, I got to stick with my prediction, right? Don't you hate people that don't stick with their predictions? Not saying anything, but you got to stick with your prediction, right? So why not say let's take all 3? Let's take all 3. I mean, realistically, it's probably going to be a game 6. But, yeah, I mean, this team, I feel very confident with that the bats are going to wake up. I really do. And that's another positive, too, is that the Mets have not seen the Dodgers' high-leverage relievers in a high-leverage situation. But the Dodgers, against Edwin Diaz, They got Andy Pye's got a base hit. I mean, you saw Stanek, you saw some of their high, saw Peterson. The Dodgers have seen those high leverage guys, and we know that this team has success the more times they face these relievers. So I feel good about that. Dodger dog, Shohei 3 for 6, 1 home run, 1 RBI, double, 1792 OPS, 8 plate appearances versus Severino. I love that. What up, D-Mac? What up, Mr. B? What up, Joey AF, Rebecca? I like Knack. I just think psychologically, Game 2 was a good spot, but I still like him. Here's the thing, though. Would you rather have Knack in Game 2, and now you know how you can use him? Or would you rather have Knack in Game 6, Knack in Game 5, Knack in any other meaningful game where you're not getting run support, right? I mean, I think it's a home game. You hope that the bats would carry on that momentum from Game 1 and Game 2. It just didn't happen. And you had a lot of hard contact. It just didn't go their way. Kike didn't come through in big spots like we've seen him come through, and you just didn't get anything. I mean, 0 for 19 from your 1 through 5. It's just, that's never going to be a win against a good quality opponent with a pitcher that's dealing in Shamanaya. Don Kim, Dodgers appear to value winning Game 3 more than Game 2 in a 7-game series. Dodgers did the same in Game 2 for Gonsolin in Game 3 and Buehler in 2020. Yeah, they've done this in the past. A great point, Don Kim. And like I said, football, you manage a game. Basketball, you manage a game. Baseball is the sport where you truly have to manage a series. You can't, if you manage every game like it's Game 7 of the World Series, that series is going to have depleted arms very quickly, and you're going to find yourself searching for answers without any, right? We got Star Stays, I have my superstitious things going right now. Dodgers are likely to win this thing throughout the season. Sneaky Panda, $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Judge and Soto are going to crush our starters if LA and New York go to a World Series. We got a $20 super chat from Ryan Montaz. 5 would be great, but I want Dodgers in 6 just so we can clinch in front of 55,000 plus starving Dodger fans at Blue Heaven on Earth. I love that take, Ryan Montaz. You know, my response to that too is that's something I was thinking about. Like, maybe this is the year where it's the home stadium, right? I mean, the Dodgers have not won a World Series at home since beating the Yankees in 1963. Could we see a repeat of that? Odds are, if they win this series, they'll be facing that Yankees team. And then you look at the NLCS, right? I mean, even through the run that they made in this era, 2017, that was on the road in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Shout out to Mr. Keektober in that one, the 3 home runs. You look at 2018, they win Game 7 on the road. Shout out to Chris Taylor with the incredible catch. Shout out to Yasiel Puig with the bomb. I mean, you look at 2020, that was at Globe Life Field, Dodger Stadium Southwest. So, yeah, maybe that is the theme. And it would be exciting, let's be honest. I mean, it's just a different juice. I mean, just hearing Dodger Stadium erupt after the Kike home run, after the Teo home run, after the Blake Trinan final out. I mean, it's very exciting to see them in those Dodgers whites, and it's definitely a home field advantage. It's proven to be that, right? You won the critical games at home. You won Game 5 at home. You won Game 1 at home. Game 2, afternoon game, didn't love that as well. You had people in the crowd with their laptops. You see that? There are people in the crowd with their laptops, man, with spreadsheets and whatever it is, QuickBooks. I don't even know that kind of work, but, you know, people working, real working people in the stadium, right? In a major market. 2 major markets facing out. Didn't love that. Joe, D-Mac, how many games? Okay, we got Courtney. MLB thrives with a Dodgers-Yankees World Series. That's going to feed families. That's going to be a ratings bonanza if that's the case. It's going to be, I mean, I can't stress enough how much Major League Baseball needs that. I mean, it's to go from what we saw last year, where it was basically getting like C-SPAN numbers. I mean, I mean, last year, the 2023 World Series averaged a 4.7. That was the lowest rating since records began. I mean, the average TV viewership was over 9.1 million views. I mean, what viewers? I mean, that it was literally the lowest rated ratings for an entire World Series ever. Okay, it was a 5-game series. The Rangers won over the D-backs, 4.7 rating. It was 9.11 million viewers. I mean, you're going to see double, triple, quadruple. I mean, it's going to be global with Shohei Ohtani. And, yeah, that's why I've said it before. I say it again. The Dodgers, they have plot armor, right? If you know what plot armor is, they need the Dodgers to make that World Series to make up for last year. I mean, the networks won it, but still, of course, you know, by the way, for everyone that thinks that this is some sort of everyone that thinks this is some sort of fix, did the TV networks and did Rob Manfred of Major League Baseball tell the Dodgers to go 0 for 19 with their 1 through 5? I don't think so, right? They would have liked them to give a hit. So it's not rigged, I'll tell you that much. If it was, you would see the Dodgers in the World Series a little more often, the Yankees in the World Series a little more often. They haven't gone there since 2019. But, yeah, you're totally right. I mean, I do think that it's very, like, this is, I don't call it a must win because it's not an elimination game, but this is this would really increase the chances of the Dodgers winning this series and would reduce the chances of them losing significantly if they were able to get game 3. Because the scenario that you would start to have some doubt in is if you lose tomorrow and Walker Buehler doesn't pitch well, then the questions raised again is, what does Walker Buehler still have? And you would still need Walker Buehler potentially to pitch for you in a game 7. And that would come after a bullpen game. So would you have Walker Buehler with the bullpen pieces he's going to have tomorrow? So if you see Walker Buehler in a game 7, it's going to be a different, hopefully, I mean, these guys are going to just pitch till their arms fall off to try to get to the World Series, but still, I mean, you only have so much gas in the tank, right? As for these bullpen pieces, and you definitely want to see that. But that's definitely a concern. I mean, that's game 7. Walker Buehler is not going to have the same relievers as game 3 Walker Buehler. So tomorrow, they got to come out focused, ready to go, and the bats have to show up. 100% D-Mac. Buehler is a dog, but needs the command to be on point from Carmen Alexander. I watch baseball because of Ohtani. There you go. I mean, Bolt later. Let me ask you down below. I mean, were you a fan before this? Because I can't tell you. I mean, I was at a Chipotle a couple months ago, and a couple people came up to me, and they were fans of the show, and they were saying that the same thing, that they never had watched baseball, and that they've been watching this show to learn about the entire sport as a baseball 101. There are people that did not watch this sport, period, that are watching it now because of number 17 in Dodger Blue. By the way, we got, let me get your predictions down below, too. How you guys feeling? We got Phoenix. Shohei will be fine. The problem was he was too hot before the postseason, and the average has to catch up, but he will be fine very soon. Yeah, I mean, look, that's true. There's no doubt about it, but let's not forget, like, with runners in scoring position, with runners on base, he is 6 for 8. You go back to that regular season you're talking about, where he was hotter than the devil's armpit, where he did make history, becoming the first 50-50 player in history. Well, you go back to September 19th. From September 19th all the way through the postseason to this point, with runners in scoring position, he's 16 for his last 19, hitting .842 with 6 home runs, 2 doubles, 24 ribbies in 24 plate appearances in those situations. So I'm old enough to remember when people were trying to start the narrative that Shohei Ohtani couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. I told you the expected numbers were in his favor, and he's had success in the past, and it was only a matter of time. The thing, though, you definitely need to have the success now, because the expected batting average in those 6 hits, in those 8 at-bats with runners on, is .564 with an 1174 slug. Without, that expected batting average is under 200. So there you go. The quality of contact isn't in his favor, but keeps it moving, guys. Welcome to the Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show on the internet. By the way, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Really, really helps out the channel. Can't thank you guys enough, so definitely be sure to do that. We are going to do a giveaway pretty soon. I'm going to give away one of these awesome T-shirts. So keep commenting away. We'll give one away. But just a reminder that today's show is brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Take a swing at Pick'em this baseball season on Underdog. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. I personally had a great time on Underdog so far this year, and it's really simple to use. And take a look at the stats and projections for my favorite players. Last week, I took higher than 207 57.5 passing yards on Josh Allen, higher than 54.5 rushing yards on Breece Hall. Underdog is super easy to play, and it's even easier to get started. Go to their easy-to-use mobile app or to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code DNP, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code DNP to claim your new custom special of a mystery player pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Are you concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. So yeah, guys, got to keep the lights on. Got to pay the bills a little bit. Yeah, honestly, Underdog Fantasy is a good time. It's a good time. I mean, definitely go out there and play it. Also, pick up the new merch, guys. Pick up the new merch. Pick up the new merch. Get the Kike shirt. Let's run this right here. Boom! Kike Hernandez, the WDGAF. We don't give a bleep. Are we live? Yes, we're live on Dodgers Dugout Live. Also features the Kike Hernandez goggles. Use the goggles right there. And the logo. I cooked this up. Like that logo right there. The MLB logo, but you got the belt bump. Call it the belt bump, right? The belt bump. You got to love, because this is the mantra. This is, when we look back at this World Series, this is how we're going to look back at them saying this effing team back in 1988. Go to Gearup.la, pick one up. Just dropped today, and you got all the colors. You got light blue, you got Dodger blue, you got navy blue, you got black, you got charcoal. This is one of those things, too, if you see another Dodgers fan wearing it, you know they're a true blue Dodgers fan, man, because this is the mentality. This is the mindset. Go pick one up. We're going to give one away in a little bit here.
Are we live? We're live. The fact that we don't give a thank you, Kike. Yep. Congratulations. Thank you again.
Kike Hernandez. Okay, so some more of your comments. I want to talk about Will Smith in a second here, but we're reading more of your comments. We got a $5 super chat. We got our only 3 starters lined up for games 3, 4, and 5. Let's roll. That's exactly what I mean. That's with what you have. You're making the best of that, okay? You wish you had Glass now. You wish you had Gavin Stone. You wish you had a healthy Clayton Kershaw, right? You wish you had those guys, but truth of the matter is you don't, and that's exactly how it's lined up. And you're also on the road. So you not only have your best starters, you have them in the toughest situations. So you just got to hope your guys come through and that the bats come through for sure. Buehler, let's go. I'm going to buy Dodgers Nation logo t-shirts for me and my hubby. Love the show, DMAC. Go Dodgers. Thanks, Carmen Alexander. By the way, we're going to do some Dodgers dugout shirts, too, coming up for all you fans of the show. So I really appreciate you guys rocking with us. We got Dodgers winning it all. We got LMAO, plot armor, baby. Exactly, Jordan Wilson. They got the plot armor, baby. Not greedy as long as they win the series. Don't matter. Games 5 or 6. Trinan Kopech 24. That's from Jeremy Buckley. That's who you're voting for. I like that. We got all hands on deck in Game 7. Kike Lux, the Eyed 5. Okay, El Machingon. Come on now. Come on. Wow. I'm Ron Burgundy. I'll read anything. I will. We got one offense to come out hungry. Buehler will be on business tomorrow. And think about the opportunity. Think about the opportunity that Walker Buehler has tomorrow to go out there in a major spot like this, and in a major spot, and have that chance to go out there and do something special on the road. This could propel him to another good start and a start in the World Series, which could propel him to a nice deal next season. I do think with Gavin Stone being out, there's a chance that Buehler is back. So look, the Buehler, this is a business trip for Buehler too. I mean, he wants to help his team out, right? He wants to help his team get rings on their fingers, but he also wants to help himself get money in his pocket. Okay, I'm telling you, man. You go out there and give a 6 shutty and have this team score runs, go 7 with 1 or 2 run ball. I'm telling you, you just had that $100,000 watch, Rob. Maybe Shohei Ohtani might buy you a new Richard Mille, might buy you a new Rollie, a new Paddock, okay? So have Shohei go buy him a new watch, just like he gave Dave Roberts that Porsche like he did. So, yeah, we got I only watch Ohtani. Hey, man, there's a lot of other good guys to watch. I mean, you got Brent Honeywell. You don't watch the turtleneck? How do you not? With the show chain? With the mullet? Brent Honeywell's a man. I'm getting a Brent Honeywell jersey. Diane Schroeder says Dodgers in 6. Jack Geese, Yankees versus Dodgers is going to happen. Good luck to Mr. Buehler after days off. That T-shirt logo is what DMAC does to Okay. Dodgers in 6 at home. We got to Foop Dodgers. Just need to listen to KSI's new song. Philip Slater, Shohei is clutch when the bags are juiced. He's also, we got I love tortas, not the sandwich. Okay, what's going on with Kershaw? So, we'll talk about that a little bit here. Clayton Kershaw, he was on the pregame show with Fox with Kevin Burkhardt and David Ortiz, Derek Jeter, and Alex Rodriguez, and he was hinting at the idea that he was going to come back. And all signs point to that happening anyway. He had a $5 million club option next season, and he told them that, hey, he didn't want to have that surgery go to waste when he had the surgery on his shoulder by Dr. Neil Elitrach, and that's not why his season ended. His season ended because of a toe situation. He could still have surgery on his toe, but Bill Plunkett, Dodgers reporter Bill Plunkett, the great Bill Plunkett, he asked Clayton Kershaw about his plans to return next year and whether he might consider declining his player option and becoming a free agent. And Kersh told Bill Plunkett, this is via his ex, I'm going to be a Dodger. So we don't have to sit through, is Clayton Kershaw going to be a Ranger? Is Clayton Kershaw going to retire? Is going to be that? I've told you this for years. I've stood firm on this. Clayton Kershaw is never going to wear another team's uniform. And I like it too. As soon as Clayton Kershaw retires, I feel like my childhood's going to be over. I'm still in my 30s, but my childhood is not over yet. But when Kershaw hangs him up, it'll be over. And I'll officially enter adulthood, okay? And I'm not ready for that right now, okay? I'm not ready for that. We still need the retirement. We need the farewell. We need the last dance tour. Truth of the matter is, he can still pitch at a sub-4 ERA level. He can still pitch at a sub-3 ERA level when he's right. And this team needs as many arms as they can. And he's a value at $5 million, right? With the incentives, of course. But he's a value for sure. And look, Shohei's great. Mookie's great, right? Clayton Kershaw is the Los Angeles Dodger of this era. Right? He's getting a statue. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it'll be his 18th season in Dodger blue. So, yeah, I mean, if they don't keep him, they would cost the team more because you're getting someone that is going to come back, is going to get to 3,000 strikeouts, and he's going to give this team hopefully 15 to 20 starts, and we'll see what happens in the postseason. But, yeah, Clayton Kershaw is going to be back next season. So we look at the rotation next year, I mean, he's a true Dodger, man. And give me the DiCaprio. I'm not effing leaving. I'm not. This is my home. Where the ravine is his home, right? He's got to be back. By the way, I want to see a ping pong night. No ping pong night last year. So give me a ping pong night. But look at the rotation next season, the way it lines up. Shohei Ohtani's going to be back. Hopefully Glassdown, Yamamoto are healthy. Clayton Kershaw's back in the fold. Bobby Miller will get another opportunity. Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May. We'll see what they do with him. Will they get Roki Sasaki? Will they get their one-year reclamation guy? Maybe that one-year reclamation guy, instead of going externally, bringing in a guy like a Tyler Glass now or a Noah Syndergaard or James Paxton. Maybe it's a Walker Buehler on a one-year prove-it-to-yourself deal. Maybe that's the case. Or what I want to see, Jack Flaherty, man. Bring Jack back. Bring Jumbo Jack Flaherty back to Dodger Blue. That's something I want to see because I think you get some value out of that deal because I think he would take less to be a Dodger. I truly do believe that. But, yeah, look, I mean, I don't want to see him have a bad season and kind of hurt his overall numbers for his career, right? But the truth is I still believe he can be effective. He's a guy that when he has that slider, he's still effective. He's not a velocity-reliant type of pitcher. He's a command-reliant type of pitcher. So, look, he's a Dodger for life, man. Anyone who slanders Clayton Kershaw, I question their Dodgers fandom. I mean, I hate to be that guy. I'm not a gatekeeper. But, I mean, people who call him a Kurt Choker, whatever, like, I mean, this is a guy who's literally, like, put his physical well-being on the line. Was playing with was mismanaged by Don Mattingly, and that group as far as pitching on short rest when he did. You had guys coming in and just blowing it with inherited runners so many times. And if he was pitching this era, he would not be given that long of a leash. So yeah, I mean, Clayton Kershaw for life, man. I mean, for real. Like, and hopefully It's great to hear him in the dugout. Great to see he's still with the team. And let's see what Jack Flaherty said about Clayton Kershaw the other day, man. So Kershaw's back. That's a good thing. And other big topic is kind of the struggles of Will Smith. And yes, Will Smith has not performed well this postseason. And unfortunately, he really has been down for months. He's been a 200 hitter for last 3 months of the season, right? I mean, he hasn't been good for a while. The question is, what do you do with Will Smith? Why is he struggling? If you look at the numbers overall, I mean, yeah, they're not pretty. They're not pretty at all. So far this postseason, Will Smith is 2 for 23, hitting 87 with a 467 OPS. Those aren't pretty numbers. You look at his numbers this series against the Mets, he's 0 for 7 with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. So certainly they need more from Will Smith. Certainly they do. There's no doubt about that. They need more production from Will Smith, right? He signed a $140 million contract. He's not playing like a $140 million catcher. That's just the truth of the matter is. Dave Roberts was asked about Will Smith today, and he said that's something that he's missing some good pitches. You can look back at the last couple of weeks where he had the big Musgrove homer. He had the big homer in San Diego. But outside of that, there's a lot of balls that he's missing, and I think that's something that we all see. Was working hard, so I don't know if it's the mechanical thing. I know it's not a moment type thing. I do feel that these guys in particular, maybe the Padres as well, they're trying to crowd him a little bit. I can see that. I just trust Will in big spots. So he's always performed in the postseason, and hopefully we have a long way to go, and I just trust his at-bat. And Sevy's pretty good against right. I just still feel he can kind of leave that ball alone, that ball in, and then he's going to get some sliders. I just feel he's due for another big hit or two. So, look, I mean, they believe in him. There is zero chance at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form or capacity that he's going to have Austin Barnes in the lineup over Will Smith. For one, Will Smith, when he comes to throwing out runners, he's one of the best in the league. 2, his game calling has improved. I mean, this is the same catcher that was behind the dish when the Dodgers had 33 consecutive innings without giving up a run, tying the postseason record with the 1966 Baltimore Orioles, right? So you're going to have Will Smith in there. I mean, you just are. And I think, too, it's like you saw the potential of what he can do when he puts a good swing on it, when he can run into one in the Game 4 win against the Padres. And let's not forget, if you go back and look at that game, when Will Smith hit that home run, it wasn't a gimme. It wasn't, the Dodgers are up 10-0. That's a runaway. It's a blowout. No, when Will Smith hit that home run, it was in the 3rd inning, and it was a 3-0 game, and that 2-run blast put the Dodgers up 5-0, right? So that was really the home run that really gave the Dodgers that next level lead, I like to call it, where it's not 3-0, it's 5-0. And when it's 5-0, then you really increase your win probability, and you really step on their throat. So that was a step on your throat home run by Will Smith. And you could argue that, I mean, it's as meaningful of a home run as any of them, really. I mean, Mookie had the big leadoff home run, Shohei the big game-tying home run, and Kike and Teo had the home runs that really decided. But Will Smith's, I mean, kind of right below that, a very meaningful home run. So let's not forget that. So, look, the truth of the matter is you don't give a guy 10 years, $140 million to let Austin Barnes start in front of him. So that's not an option. The question is, do you move him down in the lineup? I mean, that's another decision that I think when you look at where their lineup is and how they want to stagger guys, it's largely dependent on kind of his spot in the order. And the truth is he's a 20 to 25 homer guy in the middle of your lineup, right? He's a guy that, I mean, if you look at some of the exit velocities on some of these outs, the expected batting average is high. The exit velocity is there. He is hitting on the screws, and that's kind of been something that's the BABIP gods haven't been too nice to him during certain spots of his career. But the truth of the matter is they need more from him. They do, just like Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it's not like I'm defending this guy or making an excuse. I'm just kind of explaining it. And the truth is, he needs to step up. There's no doubt about that. And where he's at in the lineup right now, he's batting 7th. right? I mean, where he's batting in the lineup. I mean, where you're going to see him, he's in the 6th, 7th, I mean, right in the middle of the lineup right there. That's kind of where we've seen him. I mean, this is a guy who was batting cleanup at one point. So he's not going to, what are you about an 8th or 9th? I mean, that's just not going to be the case. So I still believe in Will Smith. I think for me, it's going out there and just doing what he does, right? He has had some nice walks where he's laid off of pitches, but still, I mean, if you got a pitch that we've seen him do damage to, he can't miss pitches, and he is missing pitches, and I do think that for him, it's just kind of putting his best swing and swing with conviction and just saying, look, man, we don't have to worry about a strikeout here. Let's just not worry about the on base or the batting average. Let's go do damage, especially with runners on base. And Dave was also asked about Gavin Lux and Freddie Freeman. And Dave said he talked to Gavin Lux. He said that Gavin Lux feels better today. So we'll see how he comes in tomorrow. But my expectations is they'll be in there. So Gavin Lux is going to be back. That's going to help the bottom of the lineup. And then Freddie Freeman, he says his expectations he's going to be in there as well. And Daniel Hudson is going to be available too. So they're going to be as healthy as we've seen them this series. That's definitely a major win right there. But we got to pick this winner for this T-shirt, this new Kike Hernandez T-shirt. So let's keep it going. Kersh, 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Don't hack it these days. Katrina, if he commands it, it does though. It does. The truth is, especially in the regular season where you need some starts, for sure, this guy's going to go down. Kershaw will reinvent himself and look like Mad Bum from Philip Slater. Yeah, hopefully it wasn't the Arizona one. Mad Bum was a bum, and Arizona said, we're going to pay you that contract for it. But we got Roki is not that guy. Well, we'll say that for another episode. We got Hate Mattingly from DM24. Kershaw stat chasing now from Nando 390. Nando. Kershaw for third base coach next year. Okay, I'll see that one. We got, let's see some more here. We got, let's see, some more comments in the show. We got Goat Shot from Daniel Macy. I always see these. Will Smith is going to homer for all the tortoise out there. Just wait on it. There you go. There you go. Comment for the show. D-Mac is glass now completely out for the postseason picture this year. A sprained elbow doesn't seem that bad, honestly. Jorge Delgado, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Tyler Glass now is 100% done. That's not even a conversation. I mean, this is their big, ace of their staff that unfortunately the inflammation, it has gone down in his right elbow, but he hasn't started to throw yet. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not in the picture for sure after that right elbow sprain. And the good thing is he's not expected to undergo surgery. So that's definitely the biggest plus, the biggest takeaway there. Smith needs a break of 1 or 2. Well, hey, he's got a day off. So there you go. What's up, Will Smith? Will Smith is not slapping. Yeah, you got to go back to Chris Rock, man. Pretend that ball's Chris Rock's head. Do some slapping into the bleachers and to the gaps, and we'll feel better about that. Will Smith should ask CT3 for tips. That's from Cesar. Will Smith for Golden Glove. Yeah, that's definitely a plus. You got to feel good about that. I mean, that tells you right there. I mean, for anyone that wants to see him not in the lineup or move down or whatever it is, I mean, he's got him in that lineup. I mean, when it came to throwing out runners this year, he threw out 28 runners, had a 30.4% caught ceiling percentage. That led all NL catchers, man. I mean, don't run on Will Smith, man. He really, really stepped it up in a major, major way. Also, too, when it comes to pitch framing as well, he's gotten better from that standpoint. I mean, Will Smith is his moment's coming, man. His moment's coming. I'm very, very confident that the guys we're belly aching about are going to come through in a big spot. So let's keep it moving here, guys. We got Max Fried, your Los Angeles choker. Okay, got some Max Fried talk down below. By the way, join us tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. Dodgers Dugout Live. We got please don't let Pages play again. What's going on, everybody? Pages didn't play with enough urgency. Right, lefty BS. What's up, Brian Gax? What's up, John Wilcox? Lux should be good to go. Lux should be good to go. We got, okay, so we're going to do. So we got to do this giveaway. And I think we're going to do it on Kirk Gibson. So Kirk Gibson, of course, is the anniversary of Dennis Eckersley. She is gone in a year in a year where the improbable has happened, the impossible has happened. Of course, the great Vin Scully, the greatest ever do it. The first person to answer how many home runs Kirk Gibson hit in his Dodgers career will win the Kike Hernandez t-shirt. So let me know down below. We got the infamous, not really. We got the Will Smith will homer tomorrow. Just to remind y'all, he's Will Smith. I hear you. We got the DM waiting for that glass now underwent. No, DM, don't put that at the universe. He's not going to have surgery, hopefully. Go DMAC Best Baseball Show and Sports Show. Thank you, Sony E. DMAC and Dodgers Nation, the real MVP for the late night show. Shohei with a huge game tomorrow. Love that. Appreciate that. We got Justin Turner walk-off day in 2017 versus the Cubs off John Lackey. Can't forget that, the anniversary of that. What's cool, too, is he remembers watching that Kirk Gibson home run at his grandma's house, so that was fitting. So here's your guesses. We got 20 from Ed Sabaka, 27 from Jay. And here we go, Lester Avendano. You get the Kike t-shirt, so DM Dodgers Nation on Twitter, on Instagram. You can DM me on the X as well. It is 42 home runs for Kirk Gibson. So you got to love that, man. Kirk Gibson, 42 bombs in his Dodgers career. Of course, he won the MVP in 1988. Spent a couple more seasons with the Dodgers. Didn't play over 90 games in any of those seasons. The year he did win the MVP, had an 860 OPS, a 148 OPS plus. So you got to love that. Also won the Silver Slugger. But guys, we'll be back tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. We got some more, say 42. A lot of 42s out there. 42, great number. Best number in baseball history, to that much. But thank you guys so much. We'll do more giveaways throughout the postseason. Keep it locked here to Dodgers Nation. And, yeah, we got the merch. So go to Gearup.la. Show you guys one more time if you guys want to go to Gearup.la. And also, too, get our other Three Sisters t-shirt, too. The Three Sisters t-shirt is fire as well. We just dropped that one. Of course, if you're two Dodger fans, you know those Three Sisters are over the bullpen. But this is our release today. We don't give a F. This is what the players are saying. This is the mentality. This is the mantra. Just like in 1988, the saying in that Dodgers clubhouse was this effing team. Well, this team, they don't give a F. And I know that if they lose, they're going to say that in the wrong way, but still, let's go out there. Let's get this dub. Let's take Game 3. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. Continue to break this one down. But my name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Do a couple walk-off shots right here. LFG, Ray Soto. We got Let's Go Dodgers. But thank you, Doug. Thanks to Colossal Jaguar. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Dodgers Dugout Live, pre-game show, post-game show, wall-to-wall coverage here on the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Thank you so much. You guys are the best fans in the game. Dodgers Nation, you guys kill it every single time in the comments. This is your show. I'm just hosting. I mean, honestly, at this point. But thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And remember, nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. Remember, we don't give an F. And until next time, think blue.